I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Arcane, Season 1, Episode 4. Vander, dead. Claggor, dead. Milo, dead. Benzo, dead. Harold, not dead.
Thank goodness.
Last episode turned things up to a notch that I didn't know was available. It went around to 10 and then just kept going again and overlapped it.
There was a gravity that I didn't know was the situation of the show. I didn't know how much blood and death was gonna happen.
In
such a devastating manner.
But it was so compelling and good, and I just didn't want to stop watching it. It was so good, though.
It's hard to tear your eyes away and also hard to watch at the same time.
I don't know where we're going here. Maybe a time skip. I don't know. We're going for, I guess, our main character, right? Powder was... Yeah.
We don't have a sister anymore.
Yeah, we don't have a sister.
We've denounced her.
And we are going to be fighting for the place of Zaun, right?
Yes.
Like the nation of Zaun. And Vi is hanging out with, I think his name was Marcus, who messed up last episode. Yeah. And we are thinking...
He trusted the wrong person.
Yeah, and we're thinking that Vi might be taking some sort of leadership role now in the Undercity, just to, take up the mantle, or the place in the mantle that nobody else can right now, other than Little Man. Keep everything
as balanced as possible so it doesn't all crumble and a lot more people suffer.
Yeah. Time skip, yes or no?
I think it's necessary. I think it's this was a pivotal moment that we ended on last episode of the sisters parting ways, that I feel like they're not going to see each other tomorrow, I think. It just wouldn't feel right.
Then I am going to have to be the person to say no.
Opposition to me?
Yes.
Say no.
Yeah, one of us has to win. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Our city is about to turn 200
Wow.
years old. A bicentennial.
It's shaping up to be an amazing progress day.
Some 5 o'clock shadow.
Stanwick Padiddley.
Everything he built either exploded
What?
or toppled over. Stanwick set his personal ambitions aside and focused on something far more important. Our future. A dear friend. The council has recommended you give the Progress Day speech this year.
Wow. That sounds prestigious.
You always give that speech. I could never take your place.
Your Hex Gates have done wonders for
Hex
us.
Gates?
Brought scholars from distant lands, reignited passions in arts and science.
Wow.
I will do my best to make Piltover proud, Professor. Victor and I have just the thing. The next chapter of Hex Tech. Come to the lab this afternoon, I'll show you.
It's beautiful. Everything is using arcane magic now, seemingly.
Is this the gate that we were hearing about?
It's like light speed,
Like teleportation.
Yeah. Piltover Progress Day.
I love reignited love of arts and science.
It's a renaissance. Wow, look at you.
The man of progress.
Oh, I want to be the man of progress.
Serves you right. I'm working.
Oh, I can see that. I'm giving the big address tonight.
We really have to send it to Anarchy.
Have fun hurting you.
Ominous feelings.
Yeah. Whoa. That looked like a hoverboard.
I was about to say that.
Sonic Riders.
Shipping manifest? From your friend.
That's cool.
That was the coolest thing.
It is Sonic Riders.
Firelights.
Whoa! They're turning into like crystal.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, tripwire. You know what that means.
Powder.
She's here.
Powder's infamous? Look at how long her hair is.
Hi.
Oh my god! That's a sheriff skin in Valorant, Anna.
I am so into this.
I can't lose you.
Whoa.
Because you're a jinx! You're not ready.
From the intro, right? Powder doesn't give a fuck. What a shot.
You are supposed to guard the cargo.
She is very unstable emotionally.
She's been through some shit.
It all began with this. Of magical energy too volatile to be handled outside our workshops. Tech was supposed to bring magic into the life of the common man, and now it finally can. A Hextech gemstone.
Wait! Holy sprockets.
We found a means to fortify the crystals. This new version is stable.
Stable.
And absolutely safe. We can now design portable devices. The gemstone can power virtually anything. The Atlas gauntlets. The Hex Claw.
Whoa.
Arm equipped with a powerful ray of light. Imagine what our artificers could do with such a device. It's finally possible. This is our presentation.
Obviously, there are a few kinks to iron out and screws to be tightened.
Whoa, cool little smoke animation there.
Careful research, and it will be ready.
A decade.
A breakthrough like this takes time, Victor. Keep at it, and I'm sure you will discover a way to safeguard Hextech against misuse.
Feel bad for Victor and Jace because they're just trying to do what they think is right for society. Cool.
You're from the Undercity.
I didn't do anything. She's crazy.
Caitlin Kiraman. Why does that not surprise me? You're supposed to be guarding your mother's tent.
I was sheriff, but she doesn't need it, and clearly this takes priority.
Prison. Yes, sir.
So Marcus got a promotion. Wow, looks like it's
The last
thriving. Yeah.
Under new ownership, though? Did Silco take over the last drop?
It was your job to make sure things went smoothly. Don't disappoint me again. The world's growing smaller every day, thanks to the Hex Gate. The topsiders are leaving us further and further behind.
She already told you.
I'm asking you.
One of those firelight wackos
Powder goes by Jinx now.
with pink hair. Sisters, right? Can't live with them, can't stuff them back in the old baby maker.
I need to know that I can rely on you.
Won't happen again.
I know.
So much.
I know, I'm at a loss for words.
We heard the term Jinx like 14 times over the past first 3 episodes. So that makes sense.
Could I borrow you for a minute? He thinks we need more time.
It's Progress Day. If there's a time to present a new creation, it is now. Heimerdinger is a great scientist, but he's old. He only ever sees the past. Someone like you.
You really believe that?
Give the people a glimpse of the future.
Powder's testing ground.
I know, just some wannabe street trash. He thinks I'm weak.
Milo and Clagor?
Cool, clean it up. Johnny on the spot.
She has the goggles.
I'm not weak. And I'm gonna show him.
Progress stays in her hand.
I'm gonna show him. Y'all see.
Was that the bodies?
Where are you? They were asking if I could do the address. You should come up with me.
Oh
it
no,
was
I don't like
dripping
the
down his
symbolism. Scared from earlier.
I know many of you probably didn't expect to see me here today. And believe me, I'm just as shocked as you are. No one in my life expected very much of me. And that is precisely what makes this moment so extraordinary. This year, we've created something new for you. Something that we will share with you when the time is right. Whether you're the scion of our high houses or an honest laborer from the underground. And our future is bright.
Show them the future.
I wonder if the yellow signifies Jace, you know? We have the red and the blue. You don't need them, Jace.
They're very helpful, though. Investors.
I thought that Talus boy was some kind of genius. Last year, didn't he launch a blimp halfway across the continent?
Airship, actually.
Pardon us if we aren't quite so refined as you, milady.
Punch him in the face.
Fire! Fire!
That's just gonna start another one.
Get the fire brigade!
You think it's a recording? You think it's a trap?
Said baby voice. Getting them in there.
Yo.
Oh.
I'm a helpless little girl, and I've set the building on fire.
I'm a helpless little girl and I've...
Get out! Now!
The gemstone is gone, along with some of our research papers.
The situation is still developing.
Oh.
The Undercity has claimed responsibility yet.
The Undercity cannot be controlled. Not by us.
So where does that leave us? If the right person got a hold of it, it's possible they could utilize its energy. It was my responsibility to safeguard this technology, and I failed. I have come before you to recommend that we suspend all Hex Tech operations until the situation is resolved.
Have you lost your mind?
The Hex Gates must remain open.
Shouldn't the safety of Piltover be our first priority?
You would sacrifice your life's work?
Without the Hex Gates, my goats
Like the statue from earlier.
to tell the Noxians.
If we shut down the Hex Gates, the city will suffer. We leave ourselves vulnerable to malefactors. More lives may be lost. Perhaps the time has come to explore a more radical solution. Mr. Talus has demonstrated his commitment to our safety. I propose that a new chair be brought forth, and that House Talus be elevated to this august body.
What?
I believe Counselor Medarda is right.
Any chance that Medarda's the one who stole it?
By a scientist. I second the motion.
Well then.
That's me!
Half a dozen enforcers dead. Do you have any idea what you've done?
I do.
Not Medarda.
Her nail polish.
Jinx.
Happy Progress Day!
How do you intend to prove any of this?
If I can just work this out, Marcus will have to listen.
They need more than just theories.
Since when did you concern yourself with the council's opinion?
I was actually hoping you might consider joining my staff. I just want you to be safe.
Thanks, but I already have a job.
You don't. After the attack, your parents spoke to the sheriff.
I don't need charity, counselor. Yours or my parents.
Kate.
Get out.
A prison? Stillwater Hold?
Is she sneaking there? She's gonna go interview the guy that she wanted to interview. DeMarcus stopped her.
Afraid that's not possible.
Why not?
Well, there's been an incident.
Was he killed?
Not so pretty kind.
Do you think it's Vi?
You don't understand.
I am so excited. I am so excited.
Who the hell are you?
Like that the 6 looks like a Vi, you know? Oh my god, that was so good. Okay, that was Arcane, Season 1, Episode 4. This is one of my favorite shows we're watching currently.
I am so into it.
Yeah, I'm so enamored by it. It's gotten so good.
I am really glad that we watched the first 3 episodes in a very condensed time period.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you just had watched 1 and then waited a while and then watched 2 and then waited a while, you know, then I feel like you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm not like in the show yet. I'm not like feeling it. It's not like grabbing hold of me. And then with the last episode and then into this episode, it was like, oh, we were just getting started. We were just setting the story and introducing you to like the past and the characters in the world. Boom.
Yeah.
The swing moves. Boom.
Oh, it was great. Stanwyck, we got a little bit of
Yeah.
history. The city is 200 years old, and Stanwyck has a statue that was raised for him, that was built for him.
He sacrificed his own ambitions for the sake of students.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah, and now we have this kind of possible parallel. Is Jace going to continue moving down that path of a Stanwyck stand-in?
I don't know. It's interesting because Jace and Victor's characters are really interesting to me, like in terms of where they might go. I think that both of them are good people, and I hope that being put in one of the positions of a counselor doesn't affect Jace being a good person, but he uses that power to be able to try to handle the situation with how he has been talking, which is great. I'm a huge fan.
I mean, what he chose to do there with his speech, definitely, I think I agreed with Heimerdinger, specifically because of Victor's show, when they were showing Heimerdinger, and it, you know, the laser was kind of moving a little crazy. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is awesome. We need trials. We need trials of these things.
Before you give it to a general public.
A minor.
Yeah.
Mining is already dangerous, difficult work, and there's a lot of them inside tunnels, and to possibly give them something that could be so, like, if you just blew something up too much, couldn't the ceiling collapse? Like, there needs to be some stability there, and trial and error to in kind of a more experimental style, a safe place to test it out, not just give it to the general public to test it out.
Yeah, because what you've done previously is make something, go down a route of discovery and magic and science, and create something that your city can use, right? You're using the power to create something, and then that thing that you created is being used by your city for positive, you know, advancements.
And there's a trust in him because of these gates. But I'm sure that in the creation of these gates, there was obviously many years of testing it out and experimenting with it before it was released to general trade lanes.
Yeah, and when you're introducing them to trade lanes, you're not giving them the schematics and like the runes and like everything
You're not- yeah, like,
necessary to
literally-
be able to have this much power to do with whatever you want with it.
And as he said in the show to Heimerdinger, this is to give magic into the hands of the common man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool concept. But as Heimerdinger said, what about, like, isn't that dangerous to give this, like, strong power?
Yeah.
Yet, like, cool, you stabilized the power. Cool, like, that was one
Now-
step.
Now take the next 10, 15 years, try to put a little bit of like a caution tape around it and a way to package it to the general populace that wouldn't be dangerous to themselves or you know, your
others.
city.
Like, maybe there needs to be, like, a lock and key. Like, after they're done working, they hand back over, and you have
Yeah.
to check each glove and make sure it's still in there.
Yep.
I'm not sure, but I think it was this grand, awesome idea that obviously everyone else is so wanting the attention of the whole world to continue. Oh, we're the city of progress. Look at us. Oh, look, Jace is gonna, like, say his new awesome invention, and then you guys are gonna, like, give us even more money and love us even more. That they were like, oh, well, it worked out last time you did something, so why wouldn't this time just work out immediately?
Yeah.
And I was really proud of him for choosing to not unveil that.
Me too.
then.
He's a good mop. And I think that him and Victor's back and forth are really good too.
I'm curious what's happening with Victor. There were a few moments in this episode that I couldn't quite understand how Victor was feeling. He definitely seems exhausted and or sickly, like not doing well. It could be overwork, it could be that he's sick, but there was also weird energy from Victor when they started talking about making Jace a council member.
Yeah. I have no ill will towards Victor. I think that obviously after this episode especially, I'm like, this show does not stray away from, like, you know, emotional instability or issues. And from what we learned in the second episode, Victor has not had an easy life, and it seems like he has a lot of trust issues with a lot of people topside, and it just isn't necessarily an extrovert, you know? And I wonder where we're going to go with his character as well.
I mean, think about the difference that you almost just highlighted there about the fact that Victor is not from here.
Yeah.
He is from the Undercity, and it would have probably been a way bigger deal to give him a seat at the table, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that
it was already, like, crazy enough to give it to Jace. Like,
Yes.
that's already nuts.
But he at least comes from a respectable family who has created these
Sponsoring
hammers
him,
for decades,
yeah.
and he's had sponsors. And Victor has kind of had to climb his way up into being an assistant to Heimerdinger, and he doesn't get that same level of attention and respect. Like, yes, this whole idea originated with Jace, but I don't believe that without Victor's help, and Victor might feel like without his help, this would not have been accomplished.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there's a slight there. It's probably
I-
a little bit hurtful.
I think maybe I would have thought that if they didn't have the interaction where Jace was like, no, you should come up on stage with me. Like, we did this together.
Yeah, but it was like, that was itself. And then the council member moment happened after. And there was just a look over at Victor that I wasn't sure what I was reading from that. And he probably would be proud of Jace, but he might still be frustrated.
He might be confused too and worried about, like, ulterior motives. What did you think?
How does he feel about the choice Jace made on stage, you know, to not unveil it?
Yeah. We don't hear a lot of inside of Victor's head, you know? Mm-hmm. So, like, starting from the beginning of the episode, we get the firelights, I believe they were called.
Love it.
The people on the hoverboards that were
Yes.
so cool. I want to ride one of those.
I 100%, this is just a theory, I think their Echo is among them.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think Echo would be in jail. And I could see Echo kind of taking over in, like, a big way of, like, fighting back.
Well, that is a great segue, because why is Vi in jail?
I guess...
Has she been in jail since, like...
Marcus?
Yeah. There's no shot, right?
Let me forcibly tear you away from your little sister as Silco is behind her, even though you're mad at her, and then put you and be like, they'll kill you if they see you, and then, but I'm gonna put you in jail. Like, I mean, honestly, he could have used her as a pawn to get the position he's in right now. He could have taken her back up and been like, look, I caught the person who did the explosion up here, like, and then they made him in charge.
Yeah.
So he could have just totally manipulated the situation for his benefit and just basically forcibly moved her upstairs as she's like, but my sister.
Mm-hmm. Silco could have taken over the whole of the Undercity. With Vander gone, he might be the person that the people lay their hopes with. And then
the last drop.
Yeah,
I was wondering, as soon as she walked in there, I don't remember her name, one of Silco's peoples, that Jinx doesn't like very much. When she was walking in there, I was like, is she allowed to? I'm sure she's recognizable to Vi. And then as soon as she walked in and there was like this very club-like loud music, and she seemed a little too at home and comfortable as she was walking in there, I was like, oh. And then I was like, where's Vi?
Mm-hmm. Going back a little bit, when we were getting the reintroduction, or rather, the introduction to Jinx, right? I loved it. I love the character design. I love the outfit. I love the weapons. Kind of crazier than I ever thought we'd see. The savagery, right?
There's something very entertaining about the instability of this character that has been created in this episode.
Oh, it's very entertaining, and it's very, like, terrifying, too. So, when we get, like, the Powder or Jinx, and then Nameless Grunt, who kind of, you know...
Resembles Vi, at least by being a female Firelight with pink hair.
We get some, like, flashbacks, but in the flashbacks, God, if anybody is listening right now and you guys know how to skip frame by frame on Netflix, please let me know, even though we don't read comments, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I would love to be able to do that right now, because it goes by really quick, and it's very hard to stop on. But it seems like it's the memory, it's like what we're being shown is how Powder or Jinx has retained the memories, and like how she sees them over what actually happened and what we got to see. Like, we are shown her perspective of it by the drawings over the situation.
I think something else that in this episode that is a glimpse into what her perspective is of the past 3 episodes before this, other than this amazing, like, the drawn-on art style of these flashbacks and what's chosen as the flashbacks, is the voice recording when the enforcers walked into the fire.
Yeah.
I am just a helpless little girl. I burned down this building on accident.
It's crazy. Like, it's I don't know how to put it into words. It's like the show. It's like it's not holding its emotional punches. Like they immediately went to, like, Jinx has this horrific traumatic history and is far gone from the Powder that we've known, but because of the exposition we got in the first 3 episodes, we understand why she's here. And I think that might be why it's so entertaining to see what she does, regardless of, like, if the actions are right or not, or good or not, or whatever. Like,
another thing that makes it more entertaining to continue seeing the actions is the time skip didn't do her any favors of people believing she's reliable. And that's awesome. That now that she's taken the nickname, taken the word that she was called and created a new name for herself with it, she still, you know, is doing things haphazardly, and people on her team don't find her reliable and don't think that she should be entrusted with such, like, big missions. She still is the same character, just older.
Yep.
And I really appreciate that they didn't just magically make her really reliable, awesome. Like, she's this mad scientist that's unpredictable, and that's
unhinged.
And that is so much more entertaining than if she was Jinx, but she was also like really accurate and really reliable.
Yeah.
And everyone trusted her. Like,
and
that wouldn't be
you know what's interesting too, based off of the history we got with her, her theatrics make sense. They don't seem like, oh, this character's theatric for the hell of it. Like, she's trying to prove herself very obviously and like show what she can do and that she can be helpful, or she can like at least do something that makes a difference.
And she's picked a new person to prove herself to and to try to make happy. And that is Silco.
Am I right that is literally Milo's skeleton sitting on the couch?
I don't think so. I think it's a robot.
Yeah?
That would be horribly morbid if it was literally his skeleton.
That's what I was like, that was my first reaction. I couldn't believe it.
When we saw it from further away, I was like, is she seeing things, or is that something that's there that she's created?
You saw it behind her back for the first time, so it looked like it was like a living sentient thing. But then when it cut away from that, we only saw it.
Seems more robotic up close. But
and
still,
it probably is what you are suggesting, because we see like the other like
the Clagger doll with the goggles.
Yeah, so that makes a little bit of sense. But like the
blah,
writing,
blah blah on the couch.
Yeah,
like,
the writing on the couch, blah blah blah. It's so uneasy, I guess. It makes me feel like, oh my god, like what? Like this character's unpredictable. What the fuck are they gonna do? They are sure as hell not scared to kill people in the show. Which 2 episodes in, I can tell you, I wasn't sure if they were gonna go down that road.
She is not scared to kill people now.
Yeah, it's terrifying. The city of progress, the man of progress. How much time do you think's like passed? Did we get a number?
I don't believe we were given a number. And I think that I would probably guess 5 years or so is probably what I would guess. It seems like Caitlin is very new to this job. And she was maybe a young teenager.
I loved the amount.
First couple episodes.
I love Caitlin. I didn't expect to like her as much, or for her to get as much like showtime or screen time as she does.
I like this kind of opposites that's being created between these friends of Caitlin and Jace, where Jace only had what he had because of the investment and support of Caitlin's rich, aristocratic family.
Yeah.
And Caitlin didn't want any of that, and she ended up choosing this job that her parents obviously hate, and were very happy to have a reason to get her to not work it anymore.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of, I don't know if Jace is like wholly intentionally wanting to switch places, because he didn't like immediately ask to be a council member, but he's definitely like moving into it and embracing it. And they're kind of swapping, because he was like, Caitlin, now you can join and join, I think it was like his house, some type of security for his house, but it's a desk job, and it's just a title really. And she's like, no, and she's rejecting, and she's like, I want to be boots on the ground, out protecting people,
even if that
getting
means
into
she's
my
like
conspiracies. Yeah, even if she's literally, she got fired, and she's in her uniform sneaking into a
Stillwater
prison.
hold. Yeah, it's awesome. Alcatraz, right?
I'm into it.
So cool. What do you think happened or was happening in the scene with Silco and Jinx? And there's the close up of like Jinx touching his eye, his
like,
glowy eye.
I think she might be. So she's injecting it with shimmer.
Yeah.
Which maybe
like.
is some sort of thing that it could be that since those wounds on his face were tainted with the toxic water, then maybe it slowly is starting to seep into other parts of his body. And by using shimmer, they're kind of stalling that.
Like an Iron Man situation.
Maybe.
Yeah. and it's it's not fixing it, but it's temporarily like giving him time and putting his body in like a sustainable place for the time being.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good guess. I'm kind of with you there. What are the toys, I guess? No, the creations on Silco's desk. I was trying to see if it was Mouser or not.
They all look like iterations
they do.
of her earlier creations. She has a signature style.
The sheriff, or the gun, I guess Caitlyn was using as a sheriff in Valorant. I never knew that it was from Arcane. That is so freaking cool. And the style fits like perfectly. It's the same thing. I think the one in Valorant maybe has writing or drawing on it that now that I'm seeing it might be very close to Jinx's, like how she draws on things, you know? She's writing blah, blah, blah on the couch, and then she's writing and drawing things on the memories and flashbacks that we've already seen. It's so crazy.
I want to go into something you said during the episode, the fireworks. As you were clicking around just now, you kind of brought it up. And I think that you said that the colors, you wondered if the yellow was representing Jace. And then obviously like blue, pink, you know. But I want to offer up the idea that the fireworks in the sky were representing the people above ground. And that the blue was Caitlyn. And the pink was Vi, and the yellow was Jace.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Because if Caitlyn's about to either break Vi out of jail or get her out of jail, and Caitlyn's friends with Jace, that maybe there's going to be a working together to stop the dangerous usage that now Jinx has stolen the crystal.
I'm scared what Jinx is going to do with that. Like, the possibilities are literally out of my mind and endless, and I can't even think of it because they bring in so many new elements in the show that are otherworldly to me.
Everyone wants progress, and that is terrifying.
She just killed a bunch of people without that, and now she has it.
She literally, tricked them, too. It's smart, crafty.
Yeah. My favorite shot of the episode goes to... within the first 10 minutes when we had Jinx using her minigun and we were inside of the chamber of the minigun and you saw it move and it was so cool.
I love the little detail of her nails.
Yeah.
I love that the paint is chipping and they're pink and blue and pink and blue. And,
so cute.
And they're long and they're really nice. They're coffin shaped and they're chipping on the edges. And it's so... realistically awesome to see chipped nails. I don't know why I was so into it. I was like,
you're right.
So relatable.
It's such a cool detail. It doesn't need to be done.
It didn't. She literally could have plain nails, perfectly painted nails, and it wouldn't have been a symbol of anything. But I think chipping the paint is just another little detail.
Yeah,
to show how she is right now.
You're right. They could have literally just made it regular fingernail length and colored them and not worried about it, but it's awesome that they did. What do you think of... Okay, so I have their name being Medarda, but the subtitles said Mel at one point. What do you think of them as a character?
Well, Medarda could be the last name.
True. But what do you think of them as a character going forward? Do you think that they're going to be a more villainous character or a character we're gonna root against?
She wants her mother to possibly be proud of her, or she's wondering if her mother would have been proud of her. So that's an interesting element. She was mad enough to walk out of the speech, and it may be embarrassed enough to walk out of the speech, but then is trying to still help Jace and promote Jace and believe in Jace. So... not really sure exactly. I also, for a second there, thought she might have romantic feelings for him. Don't know if I was just completely off with that.
I had a thought of marriage, at one point, but I don't know how this society works. If it was a different show,
Well, he's the Wonder Boy, and she called him my Wonder Boy or something like that. And then she kept, and she was
he's not a Wonder Boy. He's a Wonder Man. A Wonder Man of progress.
He's a Wonder Man of progress.
A mop.
And the coffee was dripping down his face on the mug. Little details.
Yeah.
I love little details.
One thing that we saw Jinx looking at in a magnifying glass is this, like, it looks like a, what do you call it?
A brooch?
A brooch, but it's like an insect, like a butterfly almost. And I don't know if that's like tech and can like fly around, like, you know, like a gadget.
Spy camera.
Yeah.
Drone.
That would be nuts. We did get cameras existing in this world, which is pretty cool. Doesn't her writing and everything and like the boom remind you of Ray's from Valorant?
Yeah. I am in love with this
Tattoos
design of grown-up Jinx. I'm in love with it.
We didn't get much of a look at Vi, but what we got of her, they have similar tattoos in a way.
Plumes of smoke.
Yeah. Maybe representing the fire that like caused the rift in the first place, or the bridge. And then it's the 6, right? But it's Vi.
I'm so into it.
So cool. Who the hell are you?
Okay, are we breaking her out? What would Caitlyn do? Is Caitlyn like willing to break someone out of jail?
I don't think so, but at the same time, I don't think she's going to be able to come back here if they find out she's been here after the incident.
I mean, honestly, she'd just have to describe what some of these events were too. This is the perfect person to describe the writing and the gadgets of these attacks too, to be like, oh yeah, that was my sister.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I loved Heimerdinger's partner in crime, the little like horned cat ram.
Oh God, he's so cute.
Crazy.
He kind of looked like he was blind in one eye, so I think we were right that he's been around for a while.
Yeah. Crazy Ben thought that I had that like is definitely not true, but like I had it during the episode. I was like, I wonder if Stanwyck's body failed him and he transferred his consciousness into what we know as Heimerdinger.
Oh.
Or the pet.
I thought you meant the little ram.
That's way more interesting, and I take back everything that I just said, and I'm gonna go with that. I'm adopting that theory as my own.
Wonder if they sell stuffed animals of the little ram.
I hope so. If they do,
we need
to get one.
It's very cute.
Yeah. I'm loving the show, dude. I'm so into this.
Me too.
I feel like I need to take more notes during the episode, but I don't want to miss anything, so I don't want to take more notes. I think the entire... Oh, last thing I want to talk about is this crystal thing.
Yeah.
So I had written down that it lasts for 5 minutes. It reminds me of that crystal candy in Avatar: The Last Airbender that Boomy used on Sokka and Katara. And I love it. So I want to know if you think that it has a taste to it, if you think it tastes like candy, and do you think we're going to see this again?
Citrus.
Citrus, okay.
Citrus flavored.
Do you think we're going to see it again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Because I'm thinking Echo.
Oh,
I'm picking Echo as being a part of this attack.
Do you think that Echo and Jinx would be on the same page right now?
No.
Yeah, me either. No. I don't know what Echo would be doing.
At opposition.
Yeah.
If Benzo was killed.
Yeah,
that was Echo's person. Who
Yeah.
would be the next person to take care of Echo would have been Vander or Vi.
Mm-hmm.
And the last drop has now been taken over. Like, I could see Echo, like, where is he gonna go? He's not being put in jail. He'd start this, like, underground vigilante team where they're on hoverboards. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It's the best thing I've ever seen. It is a very Echo move.
I could just totally see it.
I hope he goes by, like, Big Man now or something. Like, not Little Man, but, like, something slightly bigger.
He's, like, still really short in
Average
stature.
size man.
And he's, like, a big man.
It's like
average size Rudy from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, it's like how you call, like, a really big guy, like, tiny. Like, that ends up being his name. I don't know. But
or he could just go with Echo, because that's such a cool
Echo's
name.
the coolest name. Yeah. All right. A little disappointed we didn't see Harold, but whatever. I guess we all have our burdens we have to bear.
Life is filled with disappointments.
Yeah. But no, I'm enjoying the show a lot.
Me too.
Good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.